Hear ye, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Boruto had the seven deadly sins, skills and abilities, and also swords, weapons, and powers. You know what, I should have fucking put that up. You get the point, right? Okay, so this is how it's gonna, what's it called, work out. Before the academy or anything, like before anything happens, it was Baruto's birthday, and of course Naruto didn't show up because Naruto had his paperwork and he didn't want to show up for his family. So yeah, of course when it was Hiramari's birthday he showed up, but Baruto was he was in sort of like anger and all that, and so he kind of just ran away from home and went into the forest. And he went outside through the gate, and the gate guards were asleep. And Bart easily left. The gate guards not even noticing what the hell even happened. They went back to sleep. Now, Bart, so he's running. He's keep running and running, and he doesn't notice this, but when he just keeps running and running through like the forest and all that, he just steps onto the ground, and the ground just decides to crack, and of course made Bart to fall down into a pit. A pit that a bunch of the ground kind of fell down underneath him. Now with that happening, Baruto says, "What the fuck?" Ow. He gets up, his arm is all fucked up. Because he landed with his arm and his side and all that, and he can't really use his arm, it's all fucked up. Baruto, not Naruto, it was Baruto. He was just looking around, he's like, damn it. It sort of heals a little bit because of the Uzumaki blood, but not much. And Baruto saying, damn it, where am I? So of course he looks around and he sees, nothing because it's all dark. He goes up to this weird looking door because there is a door on there. And Baruto, there's a door in the middle. Baruto pushes it open with his right hand, because his left hand fucked up and all that, because he fucking landed on it. And so, he's also limping because his leg is kind of, hurt awesome. And he's just looking around. There was this little hand, a circle with also 7 different things. It was a circle. It looked like a button and all that, with 7 different lines just kind of going out of the circle. Now, Boruto could not really see, so he just decided to push the, what's called a little circle thing, and he just put his hand on it, and it started glowing. So, in the middle, it started glowing, the color, yellow. In one line, it started glowing orange, and another line, it started glowing red, and another one, it started glowing black, gray, and another one, yellow, and green in another. Now, these are basically the 7 deadly sins, and how he's actually going to be activating it. So, let me mention about the 7 deadly sins. So, I don't really want to do a reincarnation for Baruto to be it, because, no thanks. Instead, Marilyn, and Marilyn decides to put everyone's powers and personalities and memories and all that into a statue that anyone that finds it, they'll have all the power, and to become either the new 7 deadly sins that have the power, or to make new people, whatever, blah blah blah. Now Baruto did touch the middle, and of course it was glowing bright yellow. And of course, after a while, after there was so much glowing light happening, Baruto just fell down behind him. He just fell down late. He just passes out. There was so much glow that kind of blinded him out, so he passed out. This is where we go into his mindscape. Baruto is now in his mindscape, and he says, "Where am I?" This is where he bumps into, not bumped into anyone. He just said, "What the hell? This place is made of, what the?" It's like a forest. It's sort of like a forest. There's a giant pig in the whole thing. And Baruto says, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" This is where he meets Meliodas coming out of the bar, the what's it called, the hut that was on the pig and all. And of course, Meliodas goes up to Barto and says, "Hello, my name is Meliodas." And Bong, King, Dan, Diana, what's called Maryland, and even what's called Gother, and even Escanor. Even though Escanor died in the whole manga or anime, yeah, I'm gonna say they kind of still put the power now and all that. But with that happening, Boruto kind of stumbled back and says, "Who are you people?" Now, this is where Meliodas says, "You must be, what is your name, kid?" And Boruto says, "Boruto, who are you people?" Meliodas said, "Well, since you said your name, we will say our name. My name is Meliodas, the sin of wrath," basically anger. And of course, and there's like, with the sin of wrath, and he's the dragon sin and all that. Of course, King says, "My name is Harley Quinn, or also named as King, the sin of..." Fuck, I should really... But let me say that again. Goddamn. Okay, so King says, "I am the sin of, well, slut or whatever, whatever the hell that was called." And then there's Gother that says, "I am the sin of lust." And well, Maryland says, "I am the sin of..." Okay, Maryland says, "I am the sin of go..." Oh, fuck this. I don't give a goddamn crap. And of course, Bong says, "I am the sin of greed. My name is Bong." And of course, Escanor says, "And my name is Escanor. I am the sin of pride." So yeah. Also, this is how Boruto found what's called the symbols. There were like multiple lines that kind of spread around. There was Meliodas in the middle and all that. So yeah. And Meliodas says, "We are the seven deadly sins." And well, since it looks like you kind of awoken us from, well, a little sort of, not really trap, cagement or anything, but mostly somewhere that we kind of left power in this world. Our powers, our personality, even our sacred weapons into this world. About 3 millennium years, or no, about, how long? Like about three no way, 30,000 years. So before the seven deadly sins came before the sage, the sixth path, all them others, before a lot of things. So yeah, with that happening, Boruto was amazed how old they were, and well, so yeah, after being, well, having all that information, Boruto was amazed and saying, "So, you are the seven deadly sins." Mother says, "Yes." "What are your sacred treasure weapons? What is that?" That's where Maryland summons the little ball, Escanor has the axe, Gother has his bow, Meliodas has his sword, little, what's it called, dagger sword, whatever it's called again. The dragon dagger sword or something. And Vian has her hammer, King has, well, his spear, and Bong has, well, a staff. Yes, that's a sacred weapon treasure. That's what he has. Yeah. So if you don't know that, yeah, that's what he has. It's just, this is probably the thing to show in the anime. I guess it hasn't shown what Bong's sacred weapon is, but yeah, whatever. But not the point. We go into, well, the whole fight. Well, not the fight. Blah, blah. We go into about a week. A week where Boruto is, well, found missing. Hiyashi's about to go murder Naruto, and well, Hinata and Hanabi, not Hinata, Hanabi, and Hinawari are right now just trying to look for Boruto and all that. They look through the whole what's called Fire Nation and cannot find him. So of course Naruto did ask the other nations if they found Boruto, anything. They said no. So Kurosaki said no. Raikage said no. Chojuro says, "I have my own problems, but I already tried to find him," and said no. And well, Gaara says, "Neither I found him or anything." So it's been a week. And Boruto has not been shown up anytime. The academy is kind of starting about a week. Of course, well, about another month and all that. Now we skip into a month. No one has managed to find him. And Hinata's sad and all that. And of course, Hiyashi's blazing furious at Naruto and says, if you don't find my grandson in the next a couple days, I will fucking make sure that you don't become the Hokage anymore. Naruto says, good point, good point. Don't worry, I'll find him. Of course, a couple of days, Shikadai was kind of just on the train, wondering where the hell not Naruto, Boruto was at. This is where Boruto has already went into the village, but more powerful. He's been training into his mindscape with the 7 deadly sins. Of course, not having all their powers or anything. He got Meliodas training and Kings and also Escanors. But of course, he doesn't need he can use his different powers with 7 deadly sins. Not all combined, but he can use separates and all that. Think of that of when, Deku was using, Izuku Midori using One for All kind of separately. Like Black Whip once and, well, he can't use Float. Yeah, you get the point. He's going to be able to use all their abilities combined. But that'll be later on. Now, Boruto has already went into the village. Now, the gate guards that were there again, they were kind of tired and fell asleep. They closed their eyes for like a couple seconds. They blink and Boruto was already inside, knocking them out. Like Karate chopped them in the back of the neck, knocking them out. No, nobody saw that or anything. So, Boruto. Okay, so the academy will start like tomorrow and all that. And Shikadai was like, damn, where's Boruto? Boruto right now next to him, because Boruto already sensed where Shikadai was at. It was like right next to Shikadai. Shikadai is eating his burger. He's like, damn, this thing is spicy. What the hell? Damn, I knew Boruto would like these. Boruto said, I know I will like them, but, you know, it's better if you don't eat those burgers and then vomit before the academy, isn't it? Isn't that a bad thing? Shikadai said, yeah, I know, Boruto. Yeah, I know. You don't need to be my mother. And then he was like, he had his eyes closed when he's saying that. And then he kind of opened his eyes widened, turns next to him, and sees Boruto just there eating his burger also and has a drink. And saying, yo. And Shikadai says, Boruto, what the fuck? And Boruto says, what? And of course, Shikadai is like, Boruto, you've been gone for a couple of, not days, a fucking month and a couple of weeks. Where the fuck have you been at? Boruto's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here for a while. I've been at my house. And Shikadai says, no, you haven't. Also, what's with that black cloak? And Boruto says, it's a cloak. What else do you think? Now, of course, Boruto can actually summon his weapons by using magic. Like, he has an sort of inventory space-time continuum where he can just, pull out his weapon from it instead of having seals on him, because he sort of learns magic from what's called Marilyn. So, yeah. But with that happening, then Shikadai says, great, Boruto, you've been here. Okay. Can I know where have you been? Boruto says no. And Shikadai says, fine. I get it. Okay, fine. Boruto, don't run away from the village again, okay? Boruto says, I haven't ran away from the village. And Shikadai says, whatever. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, the academy's starting. Don't do anything stupid. Boruto says, what? And Shikadai says, I know what you're gonna try to do again. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. But bye, Boruto. Boruto eating his burgers. Said bye, Shikadai. And Boruto noticed noticed Denki and some bullies hurting him and all that. Boruto jumps off the train and just lands on the ground where the bullies were about to just pick a fight with what's called Denki. They hear crack. Boruto's right now on the ground. There's 8 bullies in total. Okay, so instead of being 4, there's 8 because they noticed the other crack. And they say, who are you? Boruto says, none of your business. Now, let go of that kid. Now, Boruto is not 4'9". He's 5'4", somewhat. Because he has everyone's sort of personality and strength, this and that. Because he has like a spirits with the seven deadly sins with him. And the powers, personalities. So he kind of, sort of reminds him of Bong. Because Bong is fucking tall, but now that I saw his Esca number, yeah. Now, Boruto says, let go of him. And they said, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Boruto already punches one kid in the face, knocking him out. He's knocked out cold. And the others start fighting against Boruto, and Boruto kicks one, kicks the other, slaps one, and then just knocks one in the back of the neck. And of course, like 7 are knocked out already. Now the last one says, already, what are you gonna do about this? Yeah! Boruto just pokes him in the head and says, what the hell? Kicks him up in the face and knocking him out already. And Denki was like, please don't hurt me. You can have the money, blah, blah, blah. Boruto says, I'm not here for the money. I just saw you were getting bullied, so I was actually wondering if you needed help. And Denki said, thank you, but you didn't need it to do that. Boruto says, you realize you need to get stronger. Well, not stronger. Just don't care about the bullies and blah, blah, blah. And Denki was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, so same thing would happen. Boruto the next day. Well, not the next day. Boruto, he did not want to just show up for what to call. He showed up towards what to call Hayashi's house and all that. Cause Hinata and Hinawari are right now at their like house and all that. And well, Boruto wanted to show up for Hayashi and all that, but then again, if he wants to be really trollish and all that, and show up the last fucking, well, not show up to his family or anything. He wants to just say, this will be kind of the greatest thing ever. So yeah, he's not actually going to go to his family house or anything. He's just going to be laying down like somewhere in like some building and all that. A building that doesn't have the top and all that. So yeah, he's just laying on there, sleeping. The next day happens. Boruto's going to the academy, riding the train. Until he saw what's called Denki with a darkish purplish glow, and he was like, what the hell? That can't be good. So Boruto runs towards it and sees that Denki's trying to kill the 4 bullies that was yesterday. Now, of course, the 4 bullies are saying, you're crazy, Denki. Boruto shows up and says, you are crazy, Denki. And Denki says, Boruto, I will kill them. And Boruto says, no, you don't need to really kill them. I already punched them out the hell out of them yesterday. Boruto shows, like, put his fist up in the air. All the bullies are, like, shocked. They're like, please don't hurt us. And the Denki was kind of amazed at how Boruto easily just pulls up his fist. All of them are scared and wish that he can do the same. But with his own strength and not someone trying to, well, control him and all that. So he gets out of that dark chakra, and Boruto says, how do we stop this, Denki? Denki says, well, we gotta get that thing over there. Boruto says, got it. So he goes, like, he, like, doesn't jump down. He kind of goes, like, forward from the, what's it called, train and all that. Puts his hand out. He gets a lever. He kind of, like, pulls it and all that. And, of course, it switches and all that. And, well, he also lost his arm. Not just kidding, not his arm. But the other kids were like shocked, and of course they'll be thrown into another cart. While Denki and Boruto are right now going towards the academy. Now, no one's worried about what's called Naruto's son, Boruto, because they all think Boruto's dead. This is where a cart or train just smashes into the 7 Hokage's head. And the 7 Hokage's probably like, what the hell? Everyone's like, what the hell? Boruto, he kind of has still his cloak on, and he gets out of the train tracks and says, I, Meliodas. No, just kidding. He says, so, not Meliodas, but Boruto says, I, Escanor of Pride. No. This is what Boruto says. Haha, suck it, fuck y'all, bitches. You think I was dead? Boruto pulls out his hood down and just shows his face, smiling creepily somewhat, and everyone was shocked. Boruto! Even Naruto goes, Boruto? Then Konohama shows up and says, Boruto, what the hell? Where the hell have you been and why are you here now? Whatever, I have to grab him. He tries to grab Boruto. Boruto dodges and knees Konohama in the stomach, grabbing his hand before he be thrown into the wall. Grabbing him, pulling him towards Boruto, and knee him in the freaking face. Which Konohama's knocked out. Boruto just says, huh. Well, there's only one thing to do. Tossed Konohama down to the ground before Naruto had to go really fast and grab Konohama so Konohama didn't die. Boruto says, ha ha! Fuck all y'all shit! And of course, they're like, well, damn, Boruto just defeated some Jonin. Now, this is where Denki's saying, oh, what the hell happened? Boruto says nothing. At least, I guess, nothing. This is where, Naruto shows up in the, Stonehead, and says, Boruto, why the hell did you just drop Konohama down? You could have killed him. You could have injured him. Boruto says, I thought I already injured him. I thought I already killed him. What is the point, old man? I can care less what you want. Of course, Naruto says, Boruto tries to grab Naruto with, Boruto's like shoulder and all that, so they can teleport into the office and all that. Boruto slaps his hand and was about to kick Naruto. Naruto managed to dodge and say, Boruto, you don't want to do this. Boruto says, I do want to do this. So, this is where Naruto says, fine. Rushes, he speed blitz, Boruto. Boruto saw his speed and blocked his attack. Now, of course, that's where Naruto's shocked with Boruto's speed. Boruto is saying, so, old man, do you really think you can actually defeat me like that? Of course, when Naruto says, fine. Let's see if he can hold up to the speed. Boruto already in front of him, punching him in the stomach. Well, Naruto managed to react because Boruto's using his speed like Meliodas does, and how Meliodas just punched that one guy in the stomach. You know, the guy that had like a, he put like his body into like iron and all that. And he said, well, my body is made out of iron. Meliodas just punched him in the stomach, knocking him out. Yeah. Basically, punch freaking, the Seven Hokage like that. Naruto gets flown back into some trees and says, oh, that fucking punch hurt like hell. Well, Kurama, I'm gonna have to need your chakra so we can actually, somewhat capture my son. This is where Naruto goes into KCM and rushes at Boruto. Boruto notices and dodges him somewhat. He almost gets hit. Now, Naruto's pretty shocked that Boruto managed to dodge it, which he wasn't trying to go full power, and Kurama's just laughing. He's like, wow, even with my power, you can't even catch your son. What do you think I'm gonna do? And Boruto, he uses, steel. Now, what's his ability? The one ability where he, steals people's energy and all that. Power. So, for some reason, Naruto's feeling this weak. He can't, get up fully. He's, feeling his, strength and stamina is getting drained somehow. And Kurama is saying, what the? Could it be? Your child must have something to do with that. Boruto gets a little buff and rushes at Naruto, punching him in the face already, knocking him into a wall. Naruto says, what the? How are you able to do that? Boruto says, do what? I'm not doing anything, Seven Hokage. Naruto says, fine. I guess I have to do this. He goes more powerful into the KCM. He puts more chakra and all that. And, of course, it glows a little bit more. Well, not glows a little bit more. It was already glowing. But, of course, more chakra around him just appear and all that. And he rushes at Boruto. Now, Boruto collides with his own punch with Naruto's. And it just does an explosion. Naruto gets flung back, but Boruto still standing there. Of course, this is where Boruto's hand is all it's all sort of ripped, torn flesh, and you can see the bones and all that. And Boruto, he's not been screaming. He is perfectly fine. He does not care. Everyone is going, they're all puking and all that. And they're wondering how Boruto isn't screaming. Now, this is where Naruto gets up and says, Boruto, If you would have just let me talk to you, you would not need your hand to be, well, I guess it gotta be cut off now. Boruto says, why wouldn't you be cut off? His hand regenerates, and it's back to normal. Boruto has the ability of immortality like Bongs. Of course, this is where everyone's shocked with his hand being back to normal. This is where Boruto rushes, punches him in the stomach already. Punches Naruto in the stomach. Naruto goes into the wall again. Now, of course, he's spitting out like, well, just spit and not blood or anything. And he's like, damn it, how is he strong? How did he even do that when he doesn't have you, Kurama? He doesn't even have anyone to heal him or anything. Kurama says, I don't know, but hey, this kid is already strong enough like that. Of course, this is where Naruto like sends out Kurama's hands because he lets Kurama like use somewhat takes control of using his hands trying to capture Naruto. Or not Naruto, Boruto. Boruto dodges the attacks and kicks some of them away. Boruto says, what are you doing, father? You can't even hurt me. Now, of course, this is where Naruto says, you little brat, I'll show you what I can do. Uses all his like 9 hands to try to grab Boruto. Boruto dodges more, and then punches one of the hands away, rushes at Naruto, punches him again in the stomach, knocking him back into the wall. So if you think that Boruto cannot do that, he can't beat up Naruto yet, you have you probably think, oh yeah, he can't do that. No, because Bong is immortal, and he can take enough energy and stamina, strength, and all that from Naruto every time. Because Bong is immortal, he can't die. Probably the only way to you're probably thinking, oh, it's probably the same physics like Hiran. Hiran was immortal curse or something. He just cut off his body parts and he can't regen. He's immortal, of course, but he's not immortal at the same time. Boruto is immortal, in which if his arm gets cut off, he can just, make a new arm, like Deadpool does. So yeah, he can just take enough strength from, KCM Naruto. So yeah, he's pretty much good. He just keeps taking the strength and stamina and all that, and just keeps taking it. So yeah. Of course, Boruto's not using any other of the 7 Deadly Sons powers, because he's not really wanting to try that much. This is where Naruto says, fine. This is where this is where some, Ambus comes and tries to attack Boruto. Boruto kicks once in the face, knees him in the face, elbows him, punch him in the face, and also uses snatch to snatches their heart away. And Boruto has one of the Ambu's hearts. Now, there was still more, and Boruto crushes that heart, and that guy just dies. I mean, he's already dead for the fact that, Boruto just took his heart. Now, all of them are shocked. They're like, holy fuck. Now, of course, this is where Naruto's shocked. He's like, what my son is? Now, Boruto says, I'm not here to fight, Seven Hokage, but you are trying to piss me off enough with these goddamn Ambus that I will probably keep murdering them if they keep trying to attack me. Now, this is where Naruto gets out of KCM and says, fine, Naruto, do whatever you want. I can't control you no more, can I? Boruto says, no, not really. Besides, you didn't show up to my birthday, and I guess I can be petty with that, but really I can care less about that anymore. Whatever. This is where Naruto walks away. All the Ambus walk away also. Follow Naruto. They also take that one dead body, clean up the mess, and just go away. Now Naruto walks to the other students, and some of the students are scared, so they kind of go away from him. He sits he's kind of stands right next to Shikadai. Shikadai says, Boruto, we haven't seen you for about a month and 2 months and a half, and you are back, and you murder an Ambu and easily beat up your father. How the fuck? Boruto says, because I'm immortal. And Shikadai says, right, funny joke, haha. Boruto just says, no, I'm actually immortal. I drank something called the immortal drink or whatever. I drank that, I became immortal, and I have these cool ass abilities. I can't die. Shikadai says, yeah, okay, sure. Boruto legit. Well, what he does is like grabs one of the kunai from what's called one of the kunais from Shino and all that, and just fully cuts his head off. And he still just says, "Well, that was interesting, right?" Shikadai goes, "Everyone passes out." Shino goes, and Boruto's still talking. And Boruto, well, he gets up with his immortal body because his own body goes to pick up what Boruto's had and puts it back on. And he says, "Well, that's interesting, right?" There it goes. So yeah, it's truly creepy for Boruto to just be immortal, not giving a goddamn fuck about anything. So instead of Boruto being suspended or anything, they can't really do jack shit to Boruto if he's immortal and can care less about anything. Now that's where Shino does like tell him all this. Boruto is just talking to Shikadai. Shikadai says, "Boruto, never ever in your mind decide to do that crazy shit in front of me again, because I'm about to puke again." Everyone is staying away from Boruto and whispering and all that. And Boruto says, "You realize if you keep whispering, I might have to cut your heads off." And all of them shut the fuck up. Like Boruto, he can hear pretty good, and he doesn't care if people whisper anything. But it's funny for him to just talk about that because they can't do jack shit to him. He can do jack shit to them, but they don't want to die. So this is where, of course, after a while, they kind of meet Awabi. Awabi's talking shit. Boruto says, "Bring it on, you weak ass bitch." And it goes about 30 seconds. Boruto wins. How? Boruto just easily punches, well, what's called Awabi in the face. Awabi uses Earth style or Earth this, and tries to even use to hiding technique and all that. Boruto easily like punches him again in the face. And of course, when he uses his weapon to try to attack Boruto, instead of Inuichi like grabbing the what's called weapon, Boruto grabs his weapon already and punches him in the face, uppercutting him. So yeah, with that, Awabi's amazed with Boruto's strength, and so he respects Boruto. They become friends. So yeah, with that happening, yeah. Now, next day is the whole shuriken throw, and Boruto does not know how to throw shuriken. He's like, "How the fuck do I do this?" This is interesting. So he grabs some pair of shurikens, and Metal Lee is right now just in front of him, and he tells Metal Lee to move. And Metal Lee wanted to show off a little bit, so he doesn't move. And Boruto throws the kunai, and it almost cuts what's called Metal Lee's cheek. It does like fly past him really fast. Like no one can actually see that speed. It hits the target and breaks the target, just cut in half. Everyone is shocked. Boruto says, "I told you to move. What do you think I was gonna do?" And Metal Lee says, anxiety kind of goes, "Oh," he passes out. Of course, this is where Shino does want to tell them to do the wall, not the wall, the Hokage, what's it called, head and all that. But of course, they left it off for some people to do it because Boruto isn't going to do it. Now, Boruto gets to his house. Yes, he did go to his house the next day, well, the day before. And Hinata's happy to see that Boruto's back, and Hinamari also. And, well, a bunch of, like, villagers have whispered about that, well, the 7th Hokage got defeated by his own son, and his own son is, like, immortal and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, people are just whispering that. Now, Boruto hasn't even shown a fraction of his power, truly. But yeah. Also, people are whispering that Boruto managed to kill an actual Anbu, and he's barely even a Genin or anything. And barely even an academy student. So yeah, people are whispering that and all that. So yeah, with that happening, the next day happens, and of course, since Metal Lee was angry that he passes out to win the fight between Boruto happened, well, not fight, the shuriken. He finds Boruto and tries to fight him, and Boruto, he easily just, well, kicks him in the face. Stops his, like, what's called punch. Kicks him in the face, like, steps on his face, and before even, Metal Lee could do anything. So, yeah. Now, of course, now it's the, Boruto going to go get lunch and all that. Sadara is kind of trying to make Boruto fight her or whatever. And Boruto's barely caring. He's like, "Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I can care less." This is what Shino does say, make a boy versus girl fight and all that. So the girls are ready to, like, go, and the boys go, and Boruto, what he does is disappear and reappear right near the flag and says, "I finally got it done." Shino says, okay, and all the girls just pass out because they cannot keep up with Barto's speed. Now, Barto, he still is training in his mindscape with the other 7 deadly sins. But yeah, with that happening, Barto, he is just like, well, I just wanted to make peace and tell the girls to F off or something. So yeah. Of course, the, the building, well, Barto, he kind of just, kicked one of the, how should I say, he kicked some random bully that was trying to bully, Denki again, into the school and breaks the whole school and probably killing the guy. But Barto doesn't care. So yeah. Now, of course, this is where they meet Misky. The same thing happens, blah, blah, blah. Misky sort of a creepy person that kind of creeps out Barto, but Barto doesn't really care. Now, Barto can care less. Of course, it's the whole shadow things. Barto, he somewhat punches him and all that. Now, of course, it's, or eye happens. And, of course, Barto, he cares less about the pure eye. He doesn't talk about the Byakugan. He does want to fight Hiyashi and all that because he heard that Hiyashi was one of the strongest head leaders of the Hyuga. And so he still fights him and all that. Instead of like asking to know what the Byakugan and all that. So Hiyashi says, fine, grandson, I'll fight him. Now, Naruto is shocked to see if Hiyashi can actually put up a better fight than him against, Barto. Since Barto is immortal, but not immortal to his pressure point. So yeah. With that happening, Hiyashi rushes at, Barto. And, Barto stops his attack by just slapping it away. And then just, not even, flicking his, finger in Hiyashi's head. And Hiyashi was pretty mad. This is where Hanabi just says, bring it on, Barto. Now, Barto, I just say he was 5'4". And Hanabi's kind of shocked that Barto has grown a little bit taller. And what Barto's wearing is just his normal clothes, so this close. Yeah, he's just wearing this. Now, of course, Barto, his hair is still, sort of yellow and all that, like bright blonde yellow. But then became darker, like what's called Meliodas. So yeah. Also, his eyes aren't blue, but instead green, since I like Meliodas a lot. So yeah, he fights against Hanabi, and Hanabi does try to use rotation, and Boruto almost gets hit by that, but Boruto, what he does is just punches rotation. Of course, Hanabi's kind of amazed that she, her rotation breaks because Boruto punched shit of it. So yeah, Boruto's pretty strong. Now, of course, to that happening, this is where they meet Kagyo, whatever his name was again, the white hair guy, and gets easily knocked out because Boruto gives no flying fucks about him, just easily kicks him. The guy gets knocked out, the ghost thing goes away. Now, of course, the creepy guy still gets knocked out, blah, blah, blah. I'm probably out of the pattern, but yeah. So, this is where they kind of pick the whole, classes and all that, and Boruto picks up fireworks because he actually wants to know about fireworks. And he just puts enough explosions into, not explosions, no. What he picks is a place like cooking and all that. And he makes 5-star fucking food because you know how Bong is that good at making food? He has mostly Bong skills in cooking. Not like Meliodas, okay? Meliodas would probably just murder everyone from food poisoning. But yeah, with that happening, this is where Mitsuki does tell Boruto that, Tsundere was the one to be this and that. Boruto doesn't really believe him. But of course, Mitsuki does try to, use the clone and all that. Boruto already knows the clone and, smacks him away. Now, of course, this is where Mitsuki is right now fighting against Tsundere and was about to kill her. This is where Boruto shows up, puts his feet right in front of her. Mitsuki, pushing him away with his feet. And Tsundere gets up and says, Boruto, so you already know who I am now. I guess you hate me or something. Boruto says, not really, but sure. Now, of course, he sees Mitsuki and Tsundere about her, clash and all that. Boruto grabs both their kunais. Of course, he's bleeding out. His eye does happen the same thing. Tsundere gets into a portal. Of course, Boruto jumps along because he doesn't want to lose Tsundere because he sort of sees Tsundere as, Tsundere. I don't know why I call her Tsundere. I think it's Tsundere or something like that. He sort of sees her as Elizabeth, with Elizabeth. because Melina sort of thinks of her like Elizabeth, because she acts somewhat of like Elizabeth. So is she gonna be the reincarnation of Elizabeth? Somewhat. Yeah. Now, of course, where Boruto easily defeats Null and does talk to Tsundere that she does like sort of is too friendly, blah blah blah. Who cares about her parents, blah blah blah. And of course, Tsundere now, well, her like seal says, "Shut up, Boruto." Null comes in. Of course, her seal breaks, and of course, the whole place is collapsing. Boruto throws Tsundere onto what's called Null and all that, and there's actually a big rock coming. Now Bartel, he pulls out the sacred treasure of King, and uses King's spear to destroy a lot of like the rocks that are falling. He says increase, and all of the rocks get cut into tiny pieces until Null could to go, and Tsundere also. And Tsundere says, "No, I can't leave you, Bartel." And Bartel says, "Go now." He said, "I'll be with you." So of course Barta says, "How am I gonna get up there now?" Because of half the ropes are falling and all that. And King says, "You can fly. You realize you can fly." Barta says, "I can? Oh shit!" Then he flies and gets to where Sunder's at, and Null is just like right there. And of course Null is about to go over there, but of course this is where Barta says, "I'm here. Let's go." So Sundari goes to where the portal should be at, and Barta punches it. This is where Null cannot go towards him, so of course he just stays there. And of course Sundari says no, and of course he just shows up into her hand because Barta just tell her. So yeah, this is where side does take her, blah blah blah. So the same things happen with that arc. Now we will go into the another arc, but into a different time, because I'm actually gonna leave it off here. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, potato. I just wanted to get through this arc because it will be too long. And what the hell is that noise? Sorry about that. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, potato. Yeah, potato.